Hello, this is Jim with Baby Boomer Tales. We're here today with Doug Lynch. It should be a great show, so buckle up. We're getting ready to go. Hey there, this is Jim, and you can see right next to me is Doug. I think right underneath me it says test. I have no idea. Before I ever went live a couple weeks ago, I started doing tests, and so my program must think my name is Test. You can watch us live stream here at Baby Boomer Tales Facebook page. Also on our YouTube channel, Baby Boomer Tales. And we'll have recordings of this that you can watch later on. If you're watching live, though, there should be an interaction button for you to say hi or ask a question or whatever. We'll try to respond to those if anybody wants to interact with us. And my guest today is Doug Lynch. Hi, Doug.
Hi, Jim.
How are you doing?
I'm fine, thanks.
This is our very first live broadcast, like I said, and I want to do most of my live broadcasts with people from up in my hometown, up in north central Colorado mountains, Grand County, Colorado, and you're my very first guest. What's that feel like to be the first of something?
I always hated going first down a ski hill, so as a ski race, so whatever.
Yeah, I understand. Now, you were born in Grand County, right?
I was born in Kremling, yep. And we actually lived on Ben Chase's old place when I was born, and that was at the what they call Walden Hollow Ranch. And do you know where that is?
Not really.
Well, to get to it, the short way to get to it is to go past the Granby Airport, up over the hill, and drop down in the valley. Or you could get to it by Highway 34, headed up towards the Granby Dam, and turn into the mountain. There's another road that goes right in front of the Granby Dam at the bottom of it, and you could go up the hill there, and you'll run into the ranch up that way too, right before you get up to Strawberry Creek in that area.
Now, if you went up by the airport and went north there, would you go by Old Granby or what they called Sealac on your way there?
Nope. You go up. Nope. You don't turn too much to the north. You kind of stay straight towards the east as you're headed up over the mountain. You mostly east, and you'd run right into it.
Okay, so
gotta have a horse or a good Jeep, though. I think they closed that road down a long time ago.
Now, you were raised up there?
Yeah, for the most part. There was, for some reason, Dad had a buddy that talked him into climbing in a semi. And for a couple of years, we were in Denver. And Mom hated it the whole time we were there. And Dad had a truck wreck. And Mom said, "Okay, are you done now?" She says, I'm headed back to the mountains with our 7 kids, with or without you. So we all loaded up and went back to Granby. And first place we were at was Arapahoe Valley Ranch. We were there for about a little over a year, and then moved to Slash J Slash Ranch.
Slash J Slash.
Between
now,
Granby and
anybody
Grand Lake.
that wants to know where that was, where is it?
Between Granby and Grand Lake on Highway US 34. Gosh, just if they know where the Stillwater campground, and that is just a little north of the Stillwater campground, and you turn left before Dilly Docks, and back 2 miles off the highway.
Okay, Slash J Slash, was that a guest ranch and a working ranch?
Yeah, when we were there, it was a guest ranch for the guy that owned it, Gene Harper. He was in the oil business in Texas and in Denver. That's where his office was. And usually it was his clients and employees he would bring up to the ranch. So that was our guests. It's kind of nice.
Okay, so what did you do while you lived on that ranch?
Well, Dad always put down my title as cowboy. Thank God. So myself and one of two or three nice horses, and all the horses we had on the place were pretty good cow horses. Just take care of the cattle. We had up to 500 head of cattle at any year on that place, and that was enough. I mean, that's a lot to take care of. Summer and winter, I was fortunate enough I had to do it all at one time or another, irrigate. And of course, when haying season rolled around, you dropped whatever else you were doing and climb on some piece of equipment to get the hay in. But usually I was on a horse, and we'd have a big cow drive in the summer, and we'd kick all the cows out in the hills up on the Forest Service. And it was my job to ride them, make sure they're kind of sticking around. Darn rough life, you know?
Tough life. Yeah. Well, the tough life was probably when hay season came. Now that was back in the days before those big round bales, right?
Yep. We had all the small squares, maybe about 80-pound bales. That's all we knew. And at the busiest we were there was probably 10 people on the hay crew. And one year went from 10 people down to about 3. Dad convinced the owner to become mechanized. Instead of 3 or 4 sickle bar tractors mowing the hay, we went to one swather, a windrower, and then went to a baler with an accumulation pack on it, and it would pack 8 bales at a time and then dump them off. And then we take those with a couple sweeps with farmhand loaders on them and take them to the stack. And then we had one guy on the stack and one guy down at the bottom of the elevator, and if we needed the elevator. But you'd stack all the hay up, and one guy up on the stack tightening them up and making the stack right. And we got rid of a lot of people with that. Anyway,
but that would eliminate having to buck the bales out in the field then, but not bucking them into the barn.
Yep, pretty much. Yeah, there's always a few strays out there that seem like guys would miss or something, but for the most part, yeah, it was a mechanized operation, and we got rid of a lot of people that we used to have. Yeah, from a 10-man hay crew down to 3 or 4, that was crazy.
Only the strong would survive?
Only the strong.
Or the dumb?
I go in the latter category.
You know, we used to have to buck bales, but it was nothing like the ranch boys.
Oh my gosh.
It'd take one day, and we'd do my dad's what he called farm, 8 acres of hay, and put it in the barn, and he took us out to Mexican food afterwards. And I thought that was plenty. I couldn't even imagine what the ranch boys had to do.
I'll tell you, we did a lot. We worked hard. Dad made sure of it.
I bet. What about as you're growing up about skiing? I've heard rumors that you used to ski, like almost everybody that was raised up there, right?
Well, it's Dad's fault. Yeah, everybody that's raised up there, I swear they would. I mean, great places to ski. Well, right over the hill from / Ranch was Trail Mountain ski area, Sonny Carlson's place, and of course we went to school with Randy and Ronnie Carlson, and so yeah, we got into racing the same year we started skiing. We first started skiing when we moved from Denver back up to Granby, and we're at Arapahoe Valley, and Dad worked at Winter Park in the winters on slope maintenance, and so he'd always get free tickets for us. That's where we started skiing, and he made sure we got in the ski jumping program and ski racing right off the bat. As soon as we could turn left and right, we were starting to race. Probably about 9 or 10 years old is when I started, somewhere around there. And then, of course,
now, did that translate to high school also?
Oh yes, all the way through high school. Middle Park High School ski team was fun. Gosh, I seemed like I struggled until my senior year, and finally had some decent equipment, and did real well my senior year, and ended up with a scholarship to Western State College for ski racing.
Western State College is in Gunnison?
Yes, sir. Yep.
That rivals Fraser for the cold spot in the state, doesn't it?
I think they fight about it all the time. Yep. Gunnison's cold.
Yeah. Yeah, they had over 40 below up there the other day. So,
oh my gosh.
I remember 50 below. Do you remember 50 below?
Oh, yes, I'll tell you something.
Several times.
I worked on a ranch up there after we had our oldest daughter, and Tiffany was actually born while we were on the place, our second daughter. and worked for a guy down in Powderhorn. One morning, the day before, Ed and I were out doing fence at 35 below. No big deal. The sun came out, wasn't bad. That morning I went out and to do chores, and I came back in the house, and I said, wow, something's wrong today. It is way colder than it was yesterday. So I kept watching my boss, and he walked out, and the truck started, and he lived about a quarter of a mile away from us. And we lived real close to the barn, so I could keep an eye on everything that was close to the barn. And we fed with a team of horses, which I loved. And anyway, he finally showed up. We just said good morning and hitched the team up, got out of the yard and started squeaking. You know, the frost was just falling from the horses' nostrils, and the snow was squeaky. It was so cold. I said, boy, do you see the thermometer? And it says pretty cold this morning, ain't it? And I said, yeah, what's the temperature? He says, I ain't going to tell you. And then he started laughing. He says, I checked before I came. It was 56 below, and we'll cross Savoya Creek here. And he says, it's always 10 to 12 degrees colder right there. He says, so where you're at, where your little trailer house is, it's cold, buddy. I said, what are we going to do after we feed the cows? He says, you can do whatever you want. I'm going to go in the house, sit by the fire.
Yeah, you're going to blame them. The one good thing about when it's that cold, the wind doesn't seem to blow.
No, I don't think it can.
It's frozen, right?
Thank God. Because that was miserable. I do not miss 50 below. I just don't.
No, I have a podcast. It's episode 13. It's one of my older ones called Experiencing Winter as a Kid. And I talk about my time growing up there in the winter and sledding and skiing and ski juring.
Oh, fun.
And jumping off my parents' garage roof into the snow.
We did the same.
We used to get so much snow up there.
Yep, used to.
And it's really not that way anymore, but it does get cold still once in a while.
It does. Yeah, the snow volume. God, what that first winter at the Arapahoe Valley Ranch, I'll tell you what, I couldn't believe. I mean, diving head first into the snow off the roof, and it wasn't piled up. It was just that deep. It was incredible. Had almost tunnels to the house. It was crazy.
Yeah, tunnels. Yeah. I understand tunnels.
Yep,
yeah.
But you do.
It's either that or don't go anywhere.
That's right.
You know?
Crested Butte used to be like that, and this winter's close.
Yeah. Where I live here, and I might as well say Doug lives in northeastern Kansas also, and we've gotten together a few times.
Yep.
We both escaped the 9 months of winter up in the mountains, and I think we both miss it a whole lot, at least the summer times, but I've always said 0 here is kind of like about 30 below back there.
It feels like this humidity here is colder. I don't care what people say. It's cold around here when 20,
but it doesn't get so cold that your tires are flat on the bottom and won't round out for about 5 or 10 miles.
Yeah.
That is a fact.
It is a fact. Especially
let me break away just for a second, Doug. I'm gonna just hang tough here. I need to do a little housekeeping here. One thing we do at Baby Boomer Tales is we try to keep any kind of advertisement out of everything. We do not have a corporate sponsor. We do not have 60-second advertisement for toothpaste or any of that stuff. But we do have ways we try to make money to finance our podcast. And one of them is our new Boomers General Store. You can find it at babyboomertales.com/shop. And we sell all things baby boomer, for lack of a better word. We sell t-shirts and coffee mugs, the t-shirts for men, women, and little kids like grandma, grandpa, and baby or toddler. And one of them right here, I'll just show you. One of grandma's favorites. This is a baby shirt. We do up to 18T in that. So, but we go clear up to 5 toddler in the t-shirts. And like I said, grandma shirts, even if they call you Mimi or Nana, we have shirts that address that. And old papa or grandpa or boompaw, whatever they want to call you. If a grandkid wants to call you something, by golly, you'll come, guaranteed. Are you back, Doug?
I'm back.
that
Good
was
job.
my 30-second commercial there.
Good job. You did well.
Okay, so yeah, I know. I'm a regular pitch man. When I was trying to find a picture of you today, I uh, I got on Facebook and looked for Doug Lynch, and by golly, there were a couple of them there. One was Doug Lynch Art. I got on there,
Oh, good.
and that is you. And can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, gosh, I've always been kind of interested in it because both my parents were artistic. I didn't even know until I would see some of their work. I mean, just kind of piddling around. Dad was handy. Mom was very good at it. And I guess my mom's dad was quite an artist. And he at one time had expressed an interest in actually going to France and continuing his art education there. That never happened, but he was quite the artist, I guess. So we've come from a long line of that. Anyway, in seventh grade, I remember, my goodness, if I could think of his name, seventh grade art teacher in Middle Park. And I can't think of it.
Mr.
Bald headed
Schneider?
guy. I think
Was it Mr. Schneider?
I think it was. Anyway, was he bald?
Well, I'm very familiar with him.
There you
Yeah, I kind
go.
of thought he was cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. He.
Anyway, yeah,
I have a
he said
podcast
there's.
about Mr. Schneider. Actually.
Say that again. You kind of faded out.
I said I have a podcast about Mr. Schneider.
I'll be darned.
Actually,
I'll be darned. Anyway, he told me I should do something with my
but
art.
we're talking about your art, not about me here.
That's all right. He said that I should do something with my art, and I didn't think too much about it until I was in college, and art became my minor. While I was in college, my major was industrial arts. I just love working with these things, and so right now I do some. I used to draw, and then I tried painting. Wow, what a thing! So I do watercolors, and right now acrylics, and I want to get into oils eventually. Haven't even explored that very much, and I also do leather work. It's fun. I just do it for family and fun things, and it's fun.
Yeah, I did see some of your leather work on the Facebook page, and it looks very, very nice.
Well, thanks. Yeah, I
So,
learned. Yeah, I learned from some of the best. Just watching, paying attention. Some old
do you sell
cowboys
any
and
of this stuff or anything?
oh, once
Do you
in a
sell
while,
any
I
of this
have
stuff?
made some things. Yeah, I've made some things for some people that would just want to give me money for it. So yeah, it's
So, if
all right.
anybody was interested, they could instant messenger you through Facebook
That's right. Yeah,
and
that's fine.
get a hold of you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, very
Good.
good. Well,
Sure.
we're starting to run down on time, but I do want to ask you about your mom. How's your
Oh
mom doing?
my gosh, at 87 years old, I'll tell you what. She's right now she's in Craig, living with a grandson of hers, and that's working out okay. But at 87 years old, she wants her own place. So she's trying to find some senior housing, and she looks every time she hears about something, she checks it out. But she still drives, still gets around. I mean, can outwalk me. I'm positive. Yeah, she's doing well. Thanks for asking. I appreciate that.
Well, your mom and dad, that's Jim and Lois Lynch. Your
Right?
dad has passed on to glory by now,
Yeah.
but
Amen.
he was, in my opinion, he was my idea of a cowboy. Every cowboy you ever see around, I always thought Jim Lynch was the cowboy of Grant County. And you guys were quite a family, and
Thank you.
you have a bunch of brothers and sisters, and we all, anybody ever knew your mother just probably loves her. I'll tell you that.
I don't know anybody that doesn't like mom. Yeah,
Yeah, I know. Isn't that amazing?
it
There's all
is.
kinds of people don't like me. I can't understand how somebody like Lois Lynch can go through life and nobody dislikes her.
Yeah.
Would you like
Thank God
to
for that.
add anything else before we sign off? We've pushing our 20 minutes here, and I'd like to
I,
keep it around 20.
Yep, that's smart. I think pretty good. Gosh, we might have to do it again somewhere down the road.
We might have to. You broke up a little. I don't know if I am or not.
Sometimes you have.
The internet, you just never know. You
That's
just
right.
never know with it. My signal says it's fairly weak on my end, so it's probably
Oh
me.
God.
But this is Jim and Doug. Thank you for joining us today.
Yeah.
Uh, we'll be back. I'm gonna try to do this every other week, so
Oh,
I'll let you know if you're interested. You can always reach me at babyboomertales@gmail.com. And you can hear our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, YouTube, Amazon Music, and more. Be kind to everyone everywhere you go.